In a shocking turn of events, Sundi may have to eat her words, or at least a few of them.
Uh-huh. Are we
House
talking
of
Cape
Stassi.
Fear or House of Stassi?
No, we're talking House of Stassi right now. And first off, I knew you were going to act this way. I even turned to Carla and said, Jeff's going to be
I
very
was gonna
smug
give myself one.
about.
I didn't know I was gonna have do it right out the gate.
Yeah, I told Carla laying there, like we were watching, I was like, Jeff is going to be so smug about how Max Katie turned out in this and how I did not defend him. I would like to say, I just left room for things to be possible. But hello, everyone. This is House of Stassi, not Cape Fear Corner. But yes, the House of Stassi, I'm going to have to eat a few words, I think, but I'll get to it. This is But I'll Take a Pinot Grigio podcast. We are talking about House of Stassi. We're talking about season 1, episodes 3 and 4. I am Sundi, pop culture professor, expert on all things bitchy, used to be blonde ladies, and heavy on the self-proclaimed.
I am Jeff, our former Bravo and reality noob, who is just really. I love how the universe is expanding, and I'm part of it. I really feel like I'm riding the wave here, and
Mm-hmm.
it's a good time all around.
It's good TV, and I will say this too. Now, this is a question that maybe I'll have to save it for my students when school starts next week. But the same way that I ask them, can you hate the artist and love the art? In that same vein, can reality TV hold good people? Because I'm
Yeah.
not sure any person on this show is a good person. Maybe Teddy. Maybe just because she's pregnant.
Yeah, I like Teddy. We haven't really heard a lot from her also, so that
Which
usually helps
also,
someone seem good on reality TV.
exactly.
Like I
Also,
don't
too,
hear a lot from them. They're great.
I hear too much from the other Taylor, which I think Teddy's name, I think Teddy might be short for Taylor, which is very confusing because they call their house the Taylors. So I'm wondering if
Hmm.
Teddy is not short for Taylor. But anyway, I'll get to that. Little business. So I don't know if you guys have been following any of McBee news, but Mama McBee is in the news saying she's not doing the show anymore. So you need to get it while it's hot. Me and Nolan just recorded an episode and we did it remote. And for whatever reason, Nolan was feeling herself. She used the word gooch on the podcast. And I think she's had a couple of F words, which is unusual for her. She is not a real cursor. But yeah, so go head over there to that coverage. We only have a
We
couple of
usually don't have
episodes left.
warnings for that here. That's just out there. Uh,
Exactly.
but
I mean, she's a much more reserved human than her mother is. But Housewives Corner, I think that I'm adding a little bit of talk of Real Housewives of London. I'm really enjoying it. The drama is so much more subtle and so much more muted because these folks are rich, like rich. Like they're going to take a helicopter to their second house in the Cotswolds, like rich.
mhm.
So I'm adding talk of that to my OC stuff. And then Sunday night is when the Ultimate Girls Trip premieres, and Emily and I are fit to be tied about this. This is big news in the Real Housewives universe. So that's what's upcoming. And always go find us on social media. And please review us and rate us. That's kind of how we kind of move up and how Apple kind of recognizes that we're a real thing. So leave us a quick review, even if it's just like, we hate it too, we love it too. And for all of your complaints, of course, always send them to jeff@pinopod.com.
That's right.
Okay, let's get into it. And before we started recording, you were remarking on the structure of the previously owned, right? This show does it a little different.
Yeah, they have Stassi sitting down and kind of walking people through. I guess, I mean, everyone seems to know what episode they're on. Katie remarks on it in the next one. And they kind of just let Stassi inside the house of Stassi narrate essentially
Mm-hmm.
and tell us what all's going on, keep us up to speed. In this one, it's the G&Gs have moved in. The Stas has got her pod Netflix deal, and Bo's been crying. So it's time for a dinner party. And I just, rather than show the drama again you just saw, and you're about to watch these people anyway, it's kind of a gentle, kind of a soft landing. I like that.
It is. Bo, I think, I mean, he's not as bad as Jax Taylor, but he does mix up an
Ooh.
idiom or a metaphor or whatever. He does that quite a bit. And so here he says that he feels like a 1950s housewife, but then compares himself to Peg Bundy of the 1980s,
Yeah.
early 90s hit show Married with Children. So not the same, but I think we get what he's saying. And then
Yeah.
all
That
Stassi's
may not be
response
his
was,
only one. Yeah.
yeah, no, definitely not his only one. He forgot the words for pregnancy test. So is Bo okay? Do we need to send somebody up there to check on him? So and then you mentioned the dinner party conflict is incoming, and I don't know what the chapter situation is. I'm not sure that I love that, especially as a note taker, because it just it's a punctuation that I don't think that we need. But this one starts off the good, the bad, and the Katie. Okay,
Yeah.
so I don't know what Katie has done to these people, and they're saying that, oh, she was mean to Stassi, or oh, she wasn't there for Stassi, and I just don't know if that warrants the kind of vitriol that we're seeing from people in Stassi's orbit.
Yeah, we're getting to it. We've got a little feelings on Katie already from Christina.
Yeah.
So thanks to her, we're getting a little insight first, I think, for everybody. But
And
I think it just seems like, you know, this is what the people in Stassi's circle have seen Katie do or not see Katie be there for. So we just don't trust her. Now we're watching this, Vanderpump 9, 10 years ago
mhm.
and have had, she's having some questionable behavior back then for us. So some of it, I'm going to say, like, I felt 10% like vindicated. So I kind of enjoyed it. But
Yeah,
I mean, since it's between filmings, I guess we just have to assume, it was
it
rough for both
it
of them.
it is a bit of a surreal experience to it's almost like we're in a time machine that won't land. So we're kind of like oscillating between 2016 and 2026. And so and I haven't watched any Vanderpump Rules since we kind of like binged House of Saucy, which Jeff and I were at the beach this weekend. And because
Hmm.
we never stop working for you guys, we did watch some of that House of Saucy and our spouses, which I'll just say this, I won't name names. One of our spouses was much more excited about the House of Stassi binge than the others. That's all I'll say. And hint, it wasn't mine.
That's a good
Um,
hint.
she was a good sport about it though, for sure. But so this exchange when Stassi walks in and she gets kind of emotional about maybe she hasn't seen the house or she hasn't been at the house, and she says something about they built it from the ground up and now she's a mom. Does it seem like her and Christina have been in touch, or does it seem like Stassi just hasn't been in Christina's life as much as vice versa?
I think that's more of a we're just busy doing opposite things, it seems like with her. Whereas Katie and her seemed like there was a definite drop off, but I don't
Yeah.
know. I think
So
getting in touch with these people, current and past, that she's friends with is just a comfort. Stassi kind of laughs off therapy a couple times in these episodes. And I think that is what she's doing with this show. She says reality TV's therapy, and she just seems so comfortable talking about this stuff on camera.
yeah, which I think is its own psychosis unto
Yes,
itself there, right?
I
Um,
did liken it to an addict, but yeah,
yeah.
maybe
Okay.
that's it.
Oh, so there you go. So I think, and then we'll parse through it, but I think these two episodes specifically mark a real start to shift in Stassi's presence on the show. The first two,
Hmm.
of course, I loved it so much. We were just kind of getting used to the rhythm of it and the structure, and we were really kind of enamored by the novelty of it. And now we're starting to see Stassi and the white knuckle, tight fisted control that she needs to have on literally everything in her life. But it's just impossible to do it. And so we're seeing her kind of like trying to rein everything in. And so, Bo is starting to get a little bit unwieldy, and her and Christina are talking, and you know, she's like, listen, I know he wants to go back to work, but she prioritizes work and she won't apologize for it. Nobody's asking you to
All right.
apologize for prioritizing work. Okay? Nobody's asking her to do that.
She will possibly work on it, though. She is maybe possibly kind of considering somewhat working on it. So there's that. Just a little opening.
Sure. Maybe, but she knows she can do better, but we'll see. But then Christina tries to gas her up. She's like, "No, you're a wonderful spouse. Of course you love Bo. I mean, you kissed him good morning this morning, didn't you?"
No, but I will put it on my notes app to do that with
Oh,
the
make a
person I'm married
point.
to. Let me consult my
Yeah,
notes app before that.
that you quite literally see every single day. I
Hmm.
mean, more and more is starting to come out about, I say come out, but like to be revealed in the narrative arc of the show that I think it's getting away from her. And we see more of it in later episodes, and we'll get to that too. But um she has to put kissing her husband good morning. And then later, I think Christina, or maybe it was Katie, said, "Hey man, just hug him from behind." So we
Yeah.
have downgraded the level. We've lowered the bar even further. I mean, kiss good morning is fairly low. So, and she's still trying to graze that. But Katie, I think the main theme here is Katie was not a reciprocal friend. She did not give as much as people thought that she was. And the idea that Stassi is the more giving of the two friends in a relationship is a hard sell to me.
Very much. Very much so. I mean, I kind of just write it along in the notes and then you look back like, huh, is that is that something I'm supposed to
Yeah.
just hear and go forward believing? Because
Yeah.
I don't know.
Um, I am really enjoying the nuggets of biographical information that we're learning about Katie, about how she threw herself at Rob and wanted to show up at his room pantyless, drunk. Later we we know she talked for 2.5 hours about vitamins. Like I I mean just I love a little peek behind the curtain, and it just feels so fun to learn these little tidbits about Katie's shenanigans.
I love it. You're getting a little vibe of I'll find you from Wedding Crashers, kind of like that's what her weekend was
Yeah.
with Rob.
Which is
Um,
so antithetical to Katie's vibe, right? Like she's so cool and standoffish.
but we
Sunday has a
know,
question.
like, yes, please, right there in
Okay.
front.
Yeah. So Christina Kelly was saying, like, listen, man, I'm in Italy. I just wanted to enjoy my cache pepe. What was she trying to say?
Cacio e Pepe.
Oh,
It's
okay.
really close. I mean, I mean, when she, they correct these people all the time, and, we haven't really gotten a reaction like hers. I don't think that, like, well, that was pretty close because that is a split in hairs one. I mean, she didn't Cacio e Pepe Le Pew add on some stuff, do some things. It's not English, it's not,
I didn't know.
I
So
thought it was funny.
yeah, I knew you would know, but I didn't. And so she's repeated this comment, right? This story about what Katie is saying gets so distorted and so bent around that. I mean, which is a very specifically reality TV trope, but you know, Stassi is not even mad about it. I think later she was like, "There were no lies. What are the lies there?" And Stassi tells Christina this. Christina does not receive it that way. She doesn't receive it as the low key mic drop burn that Stassi does, and you could just see she's like, "What? Ugh, what? This is old Katie shit." And why
Yeah.
are you even here? Who the fuck are you? Which validates Katie's later feelings about her place here. And I thought that's too far. If Stassi doesn't care, why do you care? And I swear to God, Jeff, if one more person talks about being protective of Stassi,
Hmm.
what do we know? What do they know that we don't? Is her bones made out of glass? Does she only have days to live? Why are they so protective of this woman?
She is popular, I believe. That has a lot to
A
do with
lot
it.
of
She
people are
is.
popular.
Well, this is the
Like
one they
that's
know. This is the one they have a shot with if she ever does something and she's doing something and they're all here. So maybe
I
that
just
worked
find
out.
it
They're also, I mean, if you were friends with her before she got very famous and even before this cancellation thing, because I knew who Stassi was, before before I was watching 100 episodes of Vanderpump. Like, she
Hmm.
gets some bad press. I'm not saying it's all undeserved or deserved, but you will hear her name thrown in the mud, if you go back and read stuff. So I think if they like her, they're just protective of her and see her get treated bad. Is it
Well, she
substantiated or
suffered.
not?
Well, she suffered the consequences of her own actions, in which they
I
really
agree.
dance around with, calling it the cancellation. When I got canceled, and they are framing it like it's something that happened to her instead of that happened, you know,
As a result
mechanically as
of,
a yeah, exactly. And so it's just very strange how they dance around it too. It's much like the McBees when they talk about their dad. Their dad's in prison, and so they use all these euphemisms like, "Well, dad's away. While dad's not here, the situation with dad." And so it's a it's a very delicate dance that they're doing.
yeah, they let you know. I mean, there is a version of Katie you don't want to be around. And us 10 years ago, we are kind of dancing around like, what is she? Does she have a humor? Does she have this kind of personality? When is she pleasant to be around? So I don't know if just a few more
Question.
years of that was enough for them to get away from her and then kind of culminated
Well,
with the cancellation thing or what.
question about that, about Katie. Do
Hmm.
we know in these 4 episodes that we've watched, do we know who Katie is? Does she have a humor? Do we have a sense of what her vibe is?
Her vibe, I think, right now is try and stick it out as long as possible, and that's it. And don't let my boyfriend talk. Those are pretty much the pillars she's
Hey,
standing
hey,
on.
hey. I think he says a sentence
He
in
does.
episode 4.
In
Yes.
episode 4, he does say something.
Yeah, so look, come on now. Give him a break. We get a cameo of our girl Ariana and everybody. I
Yeah.
guess it's the hot thing to be brown headed now. So thank you very much. Which I'm not so brown headed these days. I'm more gray headed. But everybody's got like a long brown hair.
Yeah.
And I will tell you this: much was made on the internet about the mix up of the subtitles. When I went back to rewatch it, they were corrected. They were not there. About
Oh,
somebody was like,
really?
yes. So Katie says, "Oh, hey, how's it being engaged or whatever?" And her mouth doesn't say it, but the subtitles put it on the screen because you know how I rely on my subtitles. But when I went back to rewatch it, it wasn't that way. It was just normal. So they pulled that. Let's see. This I don't know. This freaking sandwich shop is probably a front for cleaning money because it's never open. Nobody's ever there. Now she's just stamping something. I mean, is this just your office now? Super fucking weird.
I was
But
wondering if they were like some new engagement envelopes, like she did the whole grand
maybe
tea
that's what it
towels thing
is.
or this, and she was stamping stuff. I'm like, her and that dude are getting married. That's got to be what's happening here.
Maybe. But notice it's broad daylight out, which is typically prime sandwich hours.
Hmm.
Nary a soul in there. Nary a soul.
Oh, she's
So
in the store.
yeah, there
I
her
really did.
sandwich
I thought
shop.
it was, yeah.
Oh, it's called Something About Her. Is the name of the store? Is the name of
Oh
the
yeah, no,
store?
I just didn't pick up they were even in the
Oh
shop.
yeah.
Yeah, and I just like
Um.
that Ariana is listed as Katie's friend. Like,
Yeah. I mean, Peacock. I know Peacock's not even don't have no pull over here. Katie just wants to be present and enjoy herself until
uh-huh.
she's not enjoying herself. Which this show is so loaded with foreshadowing.
Mm-hmm.
You won't be enjoying yourself. Just wait 10 minutes, girl. You'll get it because it's coming up. Okay. Our time machine again is acting like the pirate ship at Six Flags when we swing back to the past and then they swing back to the end when they talk about how Ariana never got close with Stassi because of Sandoval because Sandoval really hates Ariana. And
Yeah.
it's just so surreal. You know what I mean? To just sort of like see time just flap over on itself. And do you think Ariana and Stassi would be friends in current day in 2026?
Because Sandoval hates Stassi, right? That's what,
Yeah.
and I guess always had back then.
Yeah. We're
I
starting to
don't
see it
think
kind of bubble up.
I never saw. a part of either one of them that was like, these two, all they need to do is get some time alone and they'll be just fine. I never saw that at all with Ariana and Stassi.
Yeah. So you don't think they would? You don't think they would mesh in 2026?
Not really. I mean, I think if any time they would have, it would be now. But I think when they were both
I don't know.
climbing up, that they both had their eyes on a similar prize and just did not care for
The
each other.
difference is, though, the difference is that we do not get to know Ariana on Love Island. Do you know what I
Yeah,
mean? Like she comes out and she does a very specific job, a very specific performance, and then goes away. We don't know anything about her that like Stassi, so I can't tell. But my instinct is that nah, not probably not. Stassi
yeah.
is very, very controlling, more so than we've seen in the past. I guess maybe because she didn't have as much money or clout or status as back then, but like she's very, very controlling. And Ariana is happy for Katie, but skeptical. And I agreed, girl. Agreed.
Yeah.
And the way Katie talks about the cancellation is the closest that we've gotten to anybody saying anything real about it. That she was things that she said was ignorant, that she was participating in some microaggressions, but she has since had a has had a reckoning. And it occurred to me, these folks have been coached on how to talk about this.
Oh yeah. And what else does she
Yeah,
need to do though? What does she got to face? What does Stassi need to face up to?
I don't know
Some
what.
some accountability. It's reality TV in
Oh,
2026. You better be
oh yeah,
talking about some accountability.
that's right. That's why I'm so desensitized to the
Yeah.
accountability. I didn't even
I
notice.
love like accountability came up and I'm like, all right, there's our 2026. And then Katie's like, I will keep it real until it goes bad and I could just walk away. And I was like, and there's our 2016, ready to walk away when it goes sour. All right, doing it all.
She also says that in order for her to feel good in this relationship, that Stassi has to be as interested in her life as she is in hers. That will never happen. Stassi will never be interested in your life. She just won't. Sorry, she's not interested. So yeah, you could be on her payroll too then. Styling days are Stassi's favorite because they're at home and I get to like help Bo with the kids or whatever. Yeah, you sound like a really invested parent who is trying to be present with your children.
I mean,
She hates those children.
the main, I may have some things on that. The main thing was trying on 11 outfits at home though. The
Yes,
bow and
that's her
kids thing
favorite.
was kind of like a happy, like, oh, that's a nice byproduct.
Oh,
The main thing was trying on the clothes at home though, I think.
yeah. Meanwhile, not a Bo or a kid to be seen in sight, but
Nope.
she's helping out. Georgie pops in. Stassi and Georgie is a brat, but I'm gonna tell you, she is the dark horse breakout star. If she does not emerge from this season with her own sense of notoriety, then her PR team
Yeah.
is not doing their job. She is a star. Now,
Yeah.
does she
I don't
does she
even
need them
think
roots
Dark
touched up?
Horse.
I mean,
Like,
does she need those roots touched up? Yes, she does. And I just want to say something right now. I do not think she understood how that hair would read on camera. It's it's reading much more Ronald McDonald than like
oh
Jessica
no.
Chastain
Oh
or you know
no.
what I mean, or Christina Hendricks. I think that's what she was going for, like a Christina Hendricks situation,
I
right?
think
Like,
that as well. Yeah.
but it reads real orange, and maybe it's my new TV. Like I've told you about my new TV. It makes everything look brutal.
I'm
Uh,
glad I haven't picked up on that because I am taking Georgie most somewhat serious still, so I would hate to have the clown hair.
Sorry,
Um,
I mean I probably ruined it. Nolan, remember Nolan always tells me I poisoned the well, so I've just poisoned the Georgie well for you. But I like her. She comes in, and Stassi, the way she talks to her is she's like, "Listen, hi, whatever. Now I'm going to need you to stay until I need you to come in whenever the nanny leaves and put Nestor down. Then Hartford, and it's like she's talking to a fucking employee.
mhm.
Now I can't tell you what my sister would do. My sister's also 12 years older than me. My sister would be like, who are you talking to? Like, she'd be looking behind her like, me? And then she immediately shifts gears into, so I heard you were talking shit. Okay.
Yep.
So
Talking
that's what we're
talking
doing.
shit to Rob. Mm-hmm.
But in case we forgot or were dubious about her participation in the talking shit of it all, there's a montage of her talking shit to Rob, to the nanny, to I think it's Taylor. Like, it's just like a whole litany of her just going hard. But I mean, they're sisters, and I don't know.
Yeah,
Um,
they're sisters, and it goes right to somebody else and their sister, Bo and Georgia, talking about Georgie. So it's a real Georgie segment right here.
Yeah, I mean, this was a George. These couple were pretty Georgie heavy, as much to my delight. But her and Georgia can't communicate with each other.
Mm-hmm.
Later, we hear Georgia's side about this, in which Georgia says that she's stressed out. That Georgie is stressed out about everything, but pretends she's not. But whenever you can tell that she is, she really won't tell you that she is. Have some experience with that,
Mm-hmm.
and that it creates this like weird tension that like Georgia knows that she's stressed out and when she talks about it, but also, are you or are you not a safe place for our sweet lovey Ronald McDonald? Because you running and telling her sister everything she said doesn't feel like a safe place, so why would she confide in you?
Absolutely. I mean, why would she talk to anybody but Rob, really, at this point? Like, I don't want to make a
Mm-hmm.
case for that relationship, but I'm saying I
I do.
do get
What do you
it
mean
in
I
some
do?
instances.
Later on, I have a whole case for
I
that
didn't say you
relationship.
shouldn't. I'm just saying I am not
Oh, okay. You're not
right
saying
now.
boo. You're just saying, yeah, not it. Okay.
I
Well,
might tend
uh,
toward boo. We'll see.
well, that feels right. That feels on brand. But in her confessional, Georgie's like, Jesus Christ, I just want some love. Why am I
Yeah,
just getting constantly rejected? Everybody's against me. The world is against me. Ha! So, you know, the producers are funny when they are
I think so.
interacting. And because they asked Stassi, are you going to make peace with Georgie?
Yeah.
And
Well, she's
what
really
did
not
viewer?
having it. She's not
No,
having
and
Georgie talking shit and well, she lays U-burden on her again. What else?
yes, well, she just says this is peace. This
Oh, right.
this is essentially as good as it gets. Um, Later on in this season, we have a reunion of Dana and the diabolical Nikolai, and
Hmm.
I think we see how these two women learned conflict resolution.
Yeah.
Scorch earth, scorch earth, and then ignored the earth is scorched.
Yeah, kind of a new Dana for us later on.
Yeah.
I can't wait.
And so then it moves into chapter 10, which also to stop using Roman numerals. It's like an extra layer of thought process I got to put on it, whatever. Date
I
of the
skipped
dead.
over. I don't even see them when they pop up. I'm not even like I
Well,
might chuckle if it's like good, the bad, the Katie kind of thing. But other than that, I'm dismissing the chapters completely.
I was just wondering that might be just something that they make a chuck for future seasons if you're listening, the Hulu or Freeform, because we don't need it. We've already got the episodes that are labeled. We don't need it. There's all. I mean, we get that y'all are like wink, wink, wink at the faux wall. We get it, but they are. Stassi's going to take Bo on a date because she wants to love bomb him until he forgets his wants and desires and just
That's
performs what
right.
she wants him to do. I'm
Hmm.
paraphrasing, of course.
No, I mean he does. She pretty much does say that. Like I know here's this one thing that he wants to do the most. So I'm gonna do what I can and, use the tools at my disposal to rid him of that notion so he only loves and wants the things I want him to love and want.
Yeah,
Pretty much,
Bo,
pretty much right there.
Bo, and this situation around this is taking a lot of heat online. And let me just float it with you. Let me just float it here.
Hmm.
People are saying that Bo is asking and receiving for sympathy and asking for concessions that a lot of women don't get. So, like, if this was a gender reversal, that if it was Stassi who was at home and Bo was working, that we would just expect the mom be like, listen, okay, I know, I get it, I know you want to go back, but like, sorry, it's just your job to stay home with these kids, like, you have to do it. And that because Bo is a man, it lends credibility to the feelings of helplessness, his feelings of, you know, worthlessness or inertia. And that if it was a woman, we wouldn't be as sympathetic. And so
I
it's a discourse online.
I agree. There is, I don't know if it's, implied misogyny kind of thing or what, but I was like, Stassi is really learning through this TV show from a man how hard it is to be a mom. Like no other things in her life led her to that. And now, thanks to reality TV, this man can show us how hard being a mom really is.
That's exactly that the people are saying, and that and there is a faction who is saying like, shut up, Bo, you have such a great life, what more do you want? Which is a terribly misandrous thing to say, and a very kind of dismissive way to clock this man. Like, he's 45 years old. If he wants to venture into the world, even though we do know that they have a nanny, and so
Right.
his burden is not 100%, right? There is a fair amount of privilege that's built in with their wealth.
Yeah, there is a lot of him, dispersing his issues among the whole crew, like while he's sitting around having a glass of wine. It's not all.
Right.
And I'm not saying that I just because I see him having a glass of wine, that might be the five free minutes he has that day.
No,
I
but
do
the thing is
recognize
though,
that. But
no,
they
you're
do
right.
have a nanny. There is some other help. There are live-in people.
Yes, and he
So,
goes to see a movie in the middle of the day, and it is broad daylight, and him and Saucy are sitting in the graveyard that they got engaged. So there is a fair amount of wiggle room, but I do understand his plight here. But this exchange right here, where Saucy was talking about how she would go back on birth control, and he is so quick to be like, no, 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 I'll get a vasectomy, was surprising to me because, first off, a lot of men are hesitant to have that particular surgery. And it seems like in a case of Stassi being so young, especially when she expresses maybe like not a finality to it, that birth control would be the easier source. But he is very quick to be like, no, 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 I'll get a vasectomy. Maybe he's too
uh,
afraid of like the baby trap, that Stassi's going to baby trap him into
yeah,
staying home 10 more.
I think that just means my mind is made up. I'm willing to have somebody come in, snip something off, and we never have to have this conversation again. Like,
Yeah, because he doesn't want any more babies at 48. And word, I cannot imagine a harder life than having to take care of a baby. For Jeff, can you imagine having to wake up every 2 hours in the night? Can you imagine not being able to like leave your house for the first 3 weeks and just be completely and utterly in servitude to a crying, terrible thing that you love so much, but you just want to fucking lay down or take a shower? 48,
no.
I don't,
I
I don't,
mean,
I don't
let
got it
me
in
let me
me.
just say no. I feel like you're picking at me for not having children at this point.
No,
So
no, I'm
I
saying
think
that's
you.
me. That was me. I couldn't do it. Like, there is no way my life, I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. I'm too old. I'm too old. I'm too
Yeah.
cranky. Yeah. But he refers back to the Vanderpump Villa thing, and this is where he couldn't think of the word pregnancy test, which he was wrong anyway. It was fucking Plan B.
Yeah.
But anyway, which
Um,
apparently, so this is a really interesting, and I know that I'm kind of getting into the ditch here, but there is a very specific kind of woman who always thinks that she's accidentally pregnant. I don't really know how to characterize her, but this anxiety of being in control and maybe like not believing your body, or like maybe not believing the calculations that you make, just always thinking that this particular catastrophe is going to happen. Stassi, I'm getting a fairly 360 view of Stassi as an adult, and she is one of those women that just every month thinks she's pregnant, and it's
I
it's
can
control and anxiety.
definitely see a she's not listening to her body type from Stassi.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I am also wondering, we get a little vulnerability with the card game they
Yeah.
have, which is kind of awkward, kind of actually vulnerable.
But
But that she thought
why
that
is it so
go
hard
I
for
don't
these
know.
two
Well,
people to
why
talk to
is
each
going
other?
on a date with your spouse more awkward than a date
I
with someone you've
know.
never met before? Because
So
it's
weird.
real answers. Someone wants an actual feeling from you, and someone
Yeah.
wants to like recount some old memory with you that you've tattooed on your brain. So you've got to come up with that rather than another story about Chris Jenner. And that's real hard for some folks.
Well, for this folk right here, because the question that really kind of derails her is how do I show love or how do I
Hmm.
love?
To stump
And
her.
like, yes, neither one of them could answer it about her. How do you think Stassi shows love?
I believe she couldn't answer because that is TBD. I
Well, I'm
mean,
asking you, how do you think? We know her
no, I
fairly
am
well.
saying that is TBD. I don't think it's
Oh, really?
gifts. I don't think it's personal touch. I don't think it's verbalizing the actual thing. I mean, it's got to be a very introspective, like only she knows about it. I mean, there has to be stuff I don't know what signals she gave to Bo in the very beginning or around this. Maybe her love language only exists on Molly. I don't know.
Yes, well, I thought about it because, I do such things. I think her love language is providing and protection. And
Yes. Okay. I get that.
that might be why everybody feels like they have to return that to her because maybe that's the only way she feels loved. If they can, because they talk this whole next scene, they talk a lot about how protective Bo was after the cancellation and
Yeah.
how grateful she was for his protection and so this protection as love economy or a currency is very strange and new, especially for a woman in her mid 30s to talk about like the safety I feel is equated to how much I think you love me. And I think that's how Stassi feels love. And I guess if we look back at her past with what we understand between Jax and Frank and Patrick, they weren't a real protective sort.
No, absolutely not. Bo didn't think twice about it. He,
Mm-hmm.
rather than even think about how the cancellation affects him, he just goes into protective mode, he says.
Yeah. And that's more than anybody could have ever shown, I think, for her. So that's good. The she's planning this freaking staycation thing. No, just the dinner party, right?
This is
The
the
dinner
dinner
party
party, yeah.
first. Yeah, and the G's are gonna cook. And she just wants Bo to have a good time socializing. She wants the G's to start getting the fuck along, and Katie and Christina to vibe. And I had an epiphany right here too, which this is going to be a very long episode, y'all. So just buckle in. So she calls it a team meeting, and this show is perfect for her to exercise that particular psychosis. Having everyone on the show helps her because she's essentially their boss and they
Yeah.
quite literally have to work for her. And she is orchestrating all of the scenarios so she can control how they interact and how they interact to her. And some of in the few episodes in the future, we see her start to get unnerved because it's not going how she wanted it to go. And so she is a very, very controlling woman,
Hmm.
right?
I mean, we've seen that before when she's gotten what we thought, what we perceived as it had something to do with that. When she gets shaky talking to people and when she goes, from nothing to 90 real quick, I do think all that stems from a controlling want and something tiny can come up in your face and you just lose it. And it's, she gets called a bitch all the time. She gets called problematic. She gets called spoiled. She gets called all these things. And it's because of her way of reacting to things, I believe, more than anything else. And those come from things that are so far out of her control and so sudden she didn't even have time to plan for it, let alone, come up with the absolute goal. And so when something gets in her way, she flips.
And the dangerous part, though, about this version of Stassi is that she has the power and the clout and the resources to be in control. She's, and so she can move the chess pieces around to where if something doesn't happen the way she wants, she can exact circumstances on that. And that is a very dangerous way to treat your friends and your family and your spouse and your children. That is, essentially, and I do have to wonder what these children are going to think about this existence of this
Yeah.
footage in 20 years.
Yeah, I think that's almost a whole nother like go down the greatest, stuff she said about the kids and then,
I will defend. I'm going to
really
defend
put
her in
that
a
all
little bit,
together.
though. I'm not going to come too hot for her, but I will defend her in a minute. But then we go to the Taylor's house. This is when Georgie calls them the Taylors, so I just assumed. But it's Taylor and Teddy's, and the baby's coming soon, and they want to kind of cram in a lot of quality time. So they invite Georgie over. Guess who else they
Hmm.
invite over? Her secret lover, Rob. They are totally fucking. And at this moment, we don't have empirical
Hmm.
proof, but we see a clip later from
We
the test
did.
shoot. Yes,
Yeah.
from the test shoot. But poor
And
old
I think we
Georgia.
got that in an earlier episode. I think this
You
is a re
you said that, but I don't remember. I mean, like I don't not believe you.
Yeah, I
But
think
it
this is the
didn't.
second time they showed it. But yeah, we got Rob, we got Georgie, no Georgia, no Georgia. Georgie really confessing about not being able to help out.
Okay, you know how I'm going to react to this. I need to know how this hit your ear.
Well,
Like
I
her
just
talking
think we're
about.
not my as we get to see her talking about it, and then we see Georgie and Stassi talk about, things that led up to now. I don't know if how thorough of a conversation they really had. Stassi really had with Georgie about now, like, give me a second, about what
No,
all
I
her
mean I'm
duties
saying
were going
that
to be.
they didn't have a conversation. That's the thing. That's what you're implying.
Oh
There
yeah,
was no conversation to
I
be
don't think
had.
right. I think one of them had an understanding, and one of them was about to come to L.A. and try to do things on her own that did not involve babies.
What do you make of the attitude of like, listen, I'm not here to be a nanny. Like, I don't, I know I'm staying there for free and all of this, but I'm just, you know what? It's just too much. Doesn't that, I mean, like, how does that hit your ear? Because it hits my ear a little ungrateful and a little
I
bratty.
don't care for it at all. I mean, I think you're going to assume you're going to be helping out. I think you're going to be wanting to help out. I mean, you're not kicking in anything. Yeah, your sister's getting wealthy and she has some money and space to provide for you, but that doesn't mean you don't do anything. She's 30. I mean,
Yeah. And Taylor, God love her, she tries to see both sides too, but
right.
you know, and I think it's Georgie's attitude about it because I would
I do too.
venture a guess that Georgia is probably feeling maybe similarly, like, ugh, I'm bound to this house now. I'm bound to this redheaded lady. Like, but the way she is not coming out and saying it. But that's why Georgie's a star. But also too, they're fucking. Rob and
Yeah.
Georgie.
I'll, I I bet
100%.
you Bo and Georgia may have had an
Or
actual
fucking.
conversation. No, hold on. Jeff didn't say that. Let's steer away from that. Talk about what's a different podcast. That's a
Well,
different
they do love each
uh
other.
but we'll see what that limoncello does later on. The I bet they had a more definitive conversation like you move in at this date, we're going to be doing this, you do this for us. I just think that was a little more figured out.
um this section too where Taylor has to tattle about this pay, like where Saucy's going to pay him situation, which in this instance it's not really too exaggerated, but Rob performs a fairly traditional masculinity here where she's cutting his balls off and he keeps saying like Bo knows what Stassi is, and all I could think about was that early 90s commercial from Bo Jackson about Bo knows baseball.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's all I could think about. Bo, kids, ask your parents. Bo knows baseball, but Bo also
There's a
knows
poster
football.
from that commercial right here in the this room.
What a weird Kismet symmetry that is. That is wild. That's wild.
Yeah. There's 100
Uh,
or 250 Bo Jackson cards right over there.
so we have a Bo Jackson fan on our hands.
I was quite a Bo Jackson fan, but it was a
I
lot
love
of
it.
Bo knows this, Bo knows that for sure.
Yes, that's all I could think of. It was in my brain. And this is where we learned that Katie talked about vitamins for 2.5 hours, and Taylor's
Yeah.
just not into it. Just not friends with her. Do you
She's
think she was
iffy.
trying to get her? Do you think she was trying to get her to buy some vitamins, like an MLM, or like what?
No, I
What's the
don't. I think
context
she
here?
was just talking about how cool they are and which ones she takes and what each one does. And she was probably telling Taylor, like, you need to get on this kind of thing. Oh, you're doing that? Well, let me, I've been in that conversation with somebody and it can go. People really go on them.
I was gonna say, I wonder if people are thinking about this when I start talking about astrology or tarot. They're like, "Oh my god, Sunny talked about fucking tarot for 2.5 hours. Shut it."
Yeah, I'm not letting you talk about it for 2.5 hours. And
I
I
mean,
enjoy hearing
really,
about it, but we're gonna get to a limit.
to be like Sunday, enough. The next scene, more chapters. Stassi takes Georgia to Botox, ostensibly because she just wants to show her and scandalize her with some American customs, but really and truly, she just wants to pump her for information about Georgie and what Georgie's saying. Also,
Yeah.
I think my question is going to answer the question. But is every plastic surgeon in Los Angeles handsome as fuck?
So far, yes.
I mean, we
I
are
don't
like five
know.
for five.
I don't know if that means I would take someone to a Botox facility to prove that America isn't weird at all, but there are some good looking doctors around there for sure.
Yes, well, I think she wanted to put her off and make her uncomfortable because that feels very Stassi like of it. But Georgia lays down immediately. It takes zero pressing for her to say, Georgie's scared of you. She feels like, everything she says, she's terrifying. Did she use the word monster in this conversation? Did Georgia say the word monster?
I don't have that, but I wouldn't be surprised if so. Yeah.
Well, later on, Stassi says that Georgie told Georgia that she was a monster. And I didn't have the presence of mind to like jot it down because I didn't know it was going to come up later. But I think that's another thing that Stassi's sort of internalizing and blowing up. But this is what I said right here. Stassi, you can't have it both ways. You can't walk around, I'm the devil, and don't you forget it. I'll put her in a verbal meat grinder. I'm the Terminator, projecting a fearsome image and then get mad when people are afraid of you. You can't
Yeah.
have it both ways. And I think this is very hypocritical of her. Like, what do you want her to be afraid of you or not?
Yeah, and we've said that same thing back in the day. Like when she's trying, she leaves for New York and comes back, it's like you talk shit about these people. You used, you likened a bunch of stuff you would do to them, like with stuff that's in horror movies. You
Yeah.
physically removed yourself, and now you just want to come back and be like, "All right, season 5, let's go. I'm here."
Yeah.
Like you can't really have it both. There's a lot of this that we don't go. She can't have it both ways, but also like, have you really figured out what is going to look like when you and Georgie are talking? Have you figured out your actual plan for the whole season besides end up as Chris Jenner? Because there's all these little micro decisions that other people are going to make along the way that are just filming, and you got to have a ABC like kind of plan.
And And Stassi sort of like gloms on to this idea that like it's sociopathy is sociopathy or it's like serial killer a behavior for her to like be nice to my face and then go behind me. No, it's not. That's called fawning. And people do that to their abusers all the time. Where when you're in their presence, I mean, there is, I'm not going to say any names, but there is an active politician right now who is out here releasing videos defending his abuse of his ex-wife, saying, "Oh, well, she cooked me dinner and she, called me the next day." It's called fawning. Abuse victims often are overly nice to placate and to keep the peace so that they don't ruffle the feathers. Am I saying that Stassi's an abuser? No, I'm not. Because you and Brooke and I had this conversation about what our like immediate fight or flight
Yeah.
responses. Mine is flight because I run in place. I think Brooke said hers was fight. right? Or was
Hers
hers phone?
hers was a little flight also.
Yes,
Um,
and yours is fight.
yeah, I make fist. That's what we found out.
Yes, yes. Well, I run in
I
place. So.
make run away. I don't know. I'm punching my way out, I guess.
Okay, that's good. That's good. I like it. I feel safe with you now. I feel good. You can find our way out. Um, but it is a response to a high cortisol, high adrenaline situation that Stassi is so far up her own fucking ass. Which Nolan said that phrase too. She said that that Stephen McBee was so far up Allie's ass that he could smell out of her nose. I was like, that is very out of character
Wow.
for Nolan to say something like that. I was like, wow, I'm gonna have to put a double explicit on that show.
Yeah, I
Um,
normally tell you not to plug that mess on here, but I mean, I'm all about it. Let's get it.
she was on fire today though. Like it was wild. I was just like, what, gooch and up her own ass? Like, okay, got it. Um, but so then this little that we are at the possible dinner from hell. We don't know if it's a dinner from hell yet. And Stassi comes in the kitchen and she does this thing where she insults Georgie. Talks about she looks like something, or the apron, she looks like something. And it's just real passive aggressive. And I want to say right now, it's real motherfucking rich for one Miss Stassi Schroeder to have beef with somebody talking behind somebody's back. And
You
I'm
want to
not
just
even
let that
talking.
lay there?
Yeah, I'm not even talking about past Stassi. I'm talking about in this exact episode. So we'll just leave that there. Put a pin in that, as we say.
She also was
Um,
like talking about, well, you know what happens when you get reality people together for a dinner party. You know what happens at a dinner party? We start the dinner party. Everyone just needs to get it together. We'll all just get along. And what are you going for here? I don't know. I don't know what
right.
she's going for.
You can't, but well, we do though, right? She wants them to perform in the lane in which she has set forth. So do this thing, have this conversation or altercation or confrontation, and then wrap it up so we can have it. And so it becomes unwieldy for her in just a few minutes. We'll show in a minute, but um, Rob comes in immediately flirting with Georgie. Taylor's
Oh
coming
yeah.
in, spoiling with the fight. And we get a little Tell Me Lies plug there, which y'all have to watch Tell Me Lies. Like, it's so good. It's so good. And Katie and Stassi chat. This is where we've graduated to the serial killer language I mentioned earlier. And Katie coming in clutch with some season 5 VPR energy
Yep.
proposes a vintage ambush. So here we are in our late 30s proposing an ambush.
Yep. A vintage ambush.
Yeah.
And fuck
Mm-hmm.
peace.
Yeah. Like we're not grown. We don't have 2 children upstairs in the room with their nanny. We're cool. Let's do an ambush. Um Georgie, I have it here. Georgie told Taylor that Georgia told Stassi. And they're in the kitchen kind of like exchanging this, and then ambush engage. What do y'all
Yeah.
talk about? So let's take a quick break right here. And then we'll come back and we will dissect the ambush in question.
Mm-hmm.
So we're back and we are at the vintage ambush here. And so was Stassi just waiting around the corner? Did they have
Yep.
a cue? Was there a code word that she had to rush in on? Like, this is
She
ridiculous.
She borrowed some invisibility cloak from Sheena Shea circa
Yeah,
2016 and just was
yeah.
able
She's
to
got
appear
that.
out of nowhere. What's
Yeah.
that you're talking about?
Yeah. She's like, what were you saying? And she this attitude. So in this instance, Georgie holds her own, I think, because Stassi comes off as a
Yeah.
real like bitchy bitcherson. How dare you complain? You're a liar. Georgia never lies. And get the fuck out of here as soon as possible. So this is where I start to turn. I might be turned on one Miss Stassi Schroeder here because So Stassi, and I said this on our other one, Stassi and Stephen McBee, which I really think those two should get together and do a collab. Stassi's the kind of woman you never ever want to accept anything from. Not a favor, not a loan, even if you didn't ask for it. Don't ever accept any kindness from her because it always has strings. You're never going to hear the end of it. You are never going to get out of debt with Stassi. Even if you pay that money back with 100% interest. She's always going to be like, well, I helped you and I gave it to you when you were down, and no, we'll never be even because you still owe me. And
Yeah,
it's tacky. It's just tacky and it's unkind.
it is. And I think that's all why, part of why Georgie, as she says, is overwhelmed. I mean, that get the fuck out was pretty big. And again, Stassi, who just said in the last couple episodes the same thing she's saying 11 years ago about wanting to work on just completely cutting ties with everybody. One episode ago is like, get the fuck out as soon as possible. Like, all right,
Like
that was a
now,
different change of pace there. And
was it the play for Georgie to
wasn't
say,
it stepping
"What
in?
can you do for me"?
Yes.
No.
That was quite the I think that really set her off if she wasn't already.
Yes, because then it went from just being bitchy Bitcherson to cruel. You don't have a job, you're homeless. Where would you be without me? Go figure out your life. I keep you alive. And then she even said a number out loud. And speaking of somebody's heart dropping or crawling into your own vagina, she said a number out loud. Like, I just gave you blah, blah, blah amount just so you could be like, that is cruel. You know exactly what you're doing. You know exactly how you're trying to make this woman look and how you're trying to position yourself. That's gross. That's gross as fuck.
Yeah, and you're doing it in a room full of people you invited to that place. So it's like, everyone come here and watch this public execution of me and my sister
Yes.
here. She also like, I mean, like no one wants to step in already. That's at one
Mm-mm.
level. And then we go past, what have you done for me and all this. Bo and Rob, they're out. Those are the first two. They're out. Then it begins to get so cruel. People are just scattering. People like the people who 2 seconds ago were like, let's be so protective of her. We have to do this. We need to look out for Stassi. They see Stassi
Such a good
unleash her
point.
true self and they are like, right on out of
So
there.
So that is such a good point, though, too, because then it sort of begs the question: are people really protective of Stassi, or are they afraid of her?
Yeah.
And
Tough.
th-
Tough to say.
that's when she makes the reference to her being the Terminator. Huh? Weren't we also afraid of the Terminator? Like, why wouldn't this woman be? And this is where I can't decide if Georgia is super savvy or not, because Stassi comes out of that looking bad. Like, hands down, she was just punching down and she just did not come out looking great. I wonder if Georgie's like this. Okay, have at it.
Georgie had it. Georgie had it together to do it. Saucy calls
Yeah.
her diabolical, gives her all those true life statements about stuff she's given her, and she
Uh
does
huh.
not cower and run away. She does not freak
Mm-mm.
out. She
Nope.
plants her feet firmly in the ground, spits back at her,
Yeah.
and really holds her own. And pretty much right
Yeah.
up until Rob comes in with oh, does Georgie need to stay with me? We just talked about you two, okay? Y'all two are done. We don't need to. You don't need to come
He's
in
hoping.
and
He's
really
like,
not beat the allegations here.
oh no, he's like, does she need to stay with me? Fingers crossed, fingers crossed. I hope I'll do it. She can come. She can sleep in my bed tonight. I'm cool with it. I'm like, okay, put it away, 50-year-old. But Georgie is not outmatched with Stassi, and Stassi wants to bully her. But yeah, I mean, we'll see later too in some later episodes whenever the whole fam gets together and Georgie's even more emboldened. That comes later on. But there is a lesbian night, and Georgie likes girls. Wait, that's not lesbian night's not yet, but we do find out that Georgie likes girls, and they
It
are
comes up.
having a
They are
lesbian
talking
night.
about it.
Yeah, they are
Yeah.
having a lesbian night, and so Christina pulls Taylor for a chat. more talk about this statement that Katie did not say and the context that did not happen. Okay? This is Katie did not say that all Stassi's friends are on payroll. That is a different statement, which this is also very, very tried and true reality trope here.
Yeah, it's close. That I've got to say, it's close enough to go ahead with it. And I mean, it isn't exactly what she said, but I mean, it doesn't need to get brought up as much as it
There's a
is anyway.
nuance there, though, that is being left out, that is being a little unfair to Katie. But like we leave it there, and this is when we come up on season 1, episode 4, the staycation from hell. And Stassi does that catch up thing, which we don't have to do that now because we just talked about it all. But Stassi's trying to, it opens with Stassi trying to pantomime mommying when there's dinner and they're sitting in there, and she's like trying to act like a mom would, like the other mother from Coraline. And
Hmm.
she just doesn't know how to spend time with them. She has
No,
no,
she really
you,
does everything short of asking them if they wouldn't mind wearing some "Hello, my name is" tags. Um, because everyone else is like they're
I
the new
mean,
tenants in the building.
yes. Like they're doing an icebreaker exercise. Because like she can't understand what the little kid is saying, and neither could we. But just like if you work with someone who has an accent and you kind of get used to the rhythms of their speech, that's the same way. If you spend a lot of time with a child, you can understand what they're saying. And she's like,
Hmm.
"What? A car? A playground? A what?" And it's just, I was like, and Bud was like this. Okay. I was like,
Well, they
get
did.
a load of this.
He did say something about talking to people or strangers in the park. So I do get a second or third, like, I'm sorry, what was that in the park? I mean, you never know. It's the park. Some shit can go down. So I'll kind of let that one go.
But um, she says, as a way to put a pin in it and foreshadow what the show is really good at. So I give it to the editors on this. I feel really close to Bo. We're in a really good place. I know
Hmm.
how you love that. And also, Bo is bitching about $684 for a dinner for like 12 people. That seems like a steal.
Well, I think it was more that they said they made everything.
Well, I thought he was talking about the grocery store.
No,
I
I
thought he
think
was
they
talking about what
ordered
they
it.
spent at the grocery store. Oh,
Oh,
I
I
thought he was
thought
talking
he was
about
saying
what
he
he.
busted them because he found out they ordered something and they weren't the
Well,
ones cooking all that.
oh, I thought he was bitching because he paid for all the groceries for that dinner that they said that they were completely responsible for. But I don't know. I
Yeah.
guess we'll never know because it seems this. But then we are at a lesbian bar, and I can't tell if Mother Lode is a great name for a lesbian bar or a terrible name for a lesbian bar.
I'm gonna say great. I'm gonna say great. You're
It's the
gonna
load.
yeah, I know. I know. I get it. I get the
It's the
question, but I'm gonna say it's great. I like naming stuff. I'm gonna say this one passes.
okay. All right. I'm gonna trust your judgment on that one. Georgie's not new to being bi, but she is new to being LA. Her type seems to be not mean and not judgmental. So essentially, not Stassi.
Yeah.
um, Taylor titles again wrongly to Teddy and Georgie. Um, so when you see Katie come in with this woman, also Dana with a Y,
Hmm.
she also used to be on Vanderpump Rules. I think we see her in season 6, but that's her podcast partner who has recently come out, I believe, as lesbian. At the very least queer, but I think that she's kind of identified it herself. So she's there on lesbian. That gives some cred to Katie's role as the lesbian plug.
Hmm.
And Taylor was fired up at first. She was like, "Listen, I'm gonna get this bitch. Get her in here. Get her. Put him up. Put him up." And Katie walks in. "Hey, girl, how are you doing? You
Big
look so
hug.
good. Oh my god."
Big hug
And
for Katie
Taylor,
right after like I'm ready to confront her. Like,
yes. What do you make of Taylor's energy? Do you like it? Are you okay
I
with
do. I
with her?
do.
Do
I'm
you?
responding to it well. She's ready to go. I mean, I think every now and then she gets running real hot and you might have to be like, "Hey, hey, hey. Let's, we're all
Yeah.
friends here." Like, I think it's fun. It may be a small amounts type thing for me, but as of right now,
That's
I mean,
I
she
was just
is
about to say that.
like, she reminds me of, if she's around here, she is gonna host a watch party, or she's somebody to listen to at like at a Georgia watch party. Like, she's big on the go dog, like having a drink. She wants to be in the action. Like, I like it a whole lot. Yeah.
Yeah, I say if she could just maybe reduce it by about 12%,
Yeah.
that would be, I think that would be a nice space for me because, whew, doggies, it's a lot.
Yeah, I mean, she has a lot
And
going on, like with their pod, the baby coming, all this lifestyle anyway. The show may be a lot, like a huge step for her, so she's just overcompensating with energy. Let's just call it energy. And that's where
yes,
the extra 15% is coming from.
her energy pulls from my energy in some
Yeah.
kind of way. And I don't dislike her and I find her to be vaguely charming. I do like how the chirons for every woman that walks up just says potential lover.
Yes, I thought that was funny.
Okay.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
thought
I'm like,
really, like, this is when I started thinking the chirons and the asterisks and all that stuff, like, it's more conversational. Like, you and I would be in the back. Like, if I'm introducing you to someone, well, several years ago, I would like whisper to somebody, like, that's a potential lover right there. And the way they, like, it sounds like all the kind of stuff you and I would like, hey, that's what the actual asterisks are saying. And I
yeah.
appreciate that. Yeah.
Lover is tough for me, but I'll allow it for now. Um
A lot
Katie
to struggle with
is
here for you.
yeah. Katie is regretting ever saying one thing to Stassi ever, agreeing, regretting signing that contract, agreeing everything. She's like, listen, man, it wasn't meant to be a dig. I'm talking about our friendship. And if you're taking that personal, then you need to look in. If you are feeling some kind of way about me saying that Stassi only hangs out with people that she's married to, gives birth to, or is on her payroll, and that's a you burden, as Stassi would say.
Yeah. And she just wonders if people need 5 little minutes in the spotlight. And
But
she's not wrong to wonder that necessarily.
because Katie, because Taylor says she's worried about Katie pushing her out
Hmm.
and stealing some of that undivided attention that Stassi gives her. But Katie's feelings are hurt. She's like, "Why am I not wanted? I want to disappear into the mist." And I was like, "That's a bummer. I don't like that."
No, I mean, she's real anti-ambush here, even though
Yeah,
she just did it.
yeah. Doesn't feel good, does it, Katie, to be on that end of the ambush? So, the next we see Chriselle, our girl. She is from Selling Sunset.
Uh-huh.
She is very famous in the Netflix universe, and she is married to, well, she was previously married to Justin something or another. He was on that show, One of Us, Just Us.
All right.
Um, you
This Is
know who I
Us.
mean.
Justin
This is
Hartley from
us.
This Is
Yes,
Us.
yes. Chriselle
Okay.
was previously worst game of password ever. Chriselle was previously
I
married to
nailed
him.
it.
He
What do
did,
you mean?
yeah, you did. Well, for me, I was the terrible partner on that one. But he notoriously asked for a divorce via text message. Then
Hmm.
she dated the Munchkin known as one of the Oppenheim brothers, and now she is with the international DJ G Flip. Think they
Oh.
actually are married. Yeah, I think they're actually married. But she has recently given up her spot on reality TV because, as she says, it becomes more toxic. But I liked the interchange between them and the advice. She's like, just lean into it, man. If it goes on your gravestone, it goes on your gravestone. What are you gonna do?
Yeah. But they refer to as a hell, and like you said, the toxicity of reality TV, just great to be away from.
I think that Stassi should stop invoking Kris Jenner, though. It's, I mean, unless Stassi is co-signing whatever all of the things that Kris Jenner is and has given up and has exploited and has cannibalized, and maybe Stassi's on board because she does seem to be not to be less than reluctant to offer up every single person that she loves at the altar of celebrity. Like, so maybe Kris Jenner is a perfect analog. But I'm just saying, invoking Kris Jenner is dangerous, I think.
Yeah, as she's talking about not wanting to exploit her family. So you got to pick one there.
Right, yeah, which is kind of Kris Jenner's brand, and
Yeah, that's what
exploiting
I
her
mean.
children. You know what I mean? Like, and exploiting
Yeah.
her children. So, I mean, we'll see. But then Stassi gives this like really weird metaphor, I guess a simile, but reality TV is like a tornado, which is some real nice foreshadowing right here. And we learned that she's been fighting for this show for 3 years. And this is where we get Bo making limoncello with his lover sister.
Just sister is all we have confirmed right now. Um,
Do you wash your fruit and vegetables and stuff with soap?
yeah, we've watched stuff with like a certain like fruit and veggie spray before.
I've never ever washed. Is water
I knew
around
this was
here?
gonna come up. I knew this was gonna.
I
We're
mean,
just
it's
gonna have
water
to get
around
past
here.
this.
Okay, I'm just saying. Who wants your shit to taste like soap?
No, no, no.
Ugh.
Most of the time, it's just water. I will say.
Yeah. Um, Georgina checks in. Bo is still riding that date night high, which, God, the bar is in hell. He thinks that he really hopes that things don't go to shit, and they obviously will. And Stassi knows that they are going to go to hell in this vacation from hell. She absolutely knows. This is what I'm talking about, cannibalizing her friends and family for what she wants to be on TV and what she thinks is going to be good TV.
Hmm.
She knows going into this weekend that Bo wants to be chill. He's without his kids. He doesn't want to fuck with Rob. He just wants to like have at y'all do whatever, but like just let me drink my wine and chill out. No, absolutely. Dance, monkey dance.
Possibly a romantic appointment could happen. They're really hoping for one of those.
Yes, fingers crossed. And Katie and Stassi meet up in Silver Lake, which I don't know enough about Silver Lake to know if there's only bands or people who are processing something
I think
emotionally.
what she said pretty much sums it up. Yeah.
Okay, cool, cool, cool. So Katie, super important. She'll take the schlep to Silver Lake. Bo, not so much. Fuck off. Who gross. I can't even kiss you on the mouth. Like, ugh, yuck. She doesn't even remember to have sex with him. Bo says, I just want more physical touch from you. And she's like, nah, I'm good. And this is where Katie's like, listen, just hug him from behind when he's making breakfast. And Katie does not like, I mean, Stassi does not like this man. She really likes him for what he allows her life to be and
Yeah.
what he can do to facilitate her life. But she does not respect this man.
Well, this is kind of like Katie back in our time right now, right? Like Stassi wants a husband type, and she has someone that she's had kids with because that's what reality stars all have. How many over 40 in reality TV don't have kids? It's not that many. Most of them are moms. So that seems
Yeah.
to be a way to get successful. So I'll need to do that. And the husband is usually kind of in the background, so I don't need the husband to be part of my life either. And I think that's how she's just going forward, like living life as the TV show rather than the
Yeah.
TV show really showing her life.
And I think she's frustrated that Bo won't play the part, right? That he's just like, he's being defiant and he's being kind of reckless in the way that he's showing his real emotions. I do want to take up for Saucy right now when she says "fuck those kids."
Yeah, I get it.
I say that. I say that all the time. Fuck them kids. I don't hate my children. I love my children very much, but it is sort of a hyperbolic way to kind of express frustration. The internet's not been very kind to Stassi, and she knew it when she said it. She says it in her confessional. I feel guilty. I wish I could take it back, but fuck them kids. It's not terrible. It's not terrible. Fuck them. They're terrible sometimes. It's fine. And I just would like to go on record by saying that it's not that straight women can't say lesbo.
Yeah.
I'm just
Okay,
thinking they
good.
probably shouldn't. They
I
probably
don't.
just shouldn't.
What if you didn't? Well, I like that question
Yeah.
for Stassi. I
Yeah.
think I might just ask, what if you didn't? Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, just that's like non-gay men saying the F word. Like
Right.
we
I can
shouldn't
just
do it.
not. Yeah.
Yeah. But Katie's got to bring this shit to Stassi again because it hasn't been adjudicated enough. It has not run through the grinder grist mill of every person's fucking mouth and relationship. We have to rehash it again. And Stassi's like, I don't know, man. No lies were told. That should be
Yeah.
the
I
end of
don't.
it.
She doesn't think it's a big deal at all. Katie keeps going. I mean, she wonders too if she should be around. We kind of skipped over it early, but she talked about quitting, like in her little intro today. Um, like that whole now I just want to disappear. Maybe I'll just quit, you know. And
And
here she's like, maybe I could just walk away. Maybe I don't need to be around. To which
did
Stassi's like,
you did you catch it when she said I wasn't wanted on VPR either?
no,
Yeah, she said,
no, I did
she,
not.
yes. Katie says, I'm having buyer's remorse here.
Yes, I
I
heard
don't feel
that.
like yeah, I don't feel like I'm wanted. I wasn't wanted on Vanderpump Rules either. And so what am I even doing? It was like a real throwaway line.
Oh, yes, I did hear that. I think I just thought there was probably people out there like you and I are here lately that aren't liking a lot of her decisions. But yeah,
Maybe.
that's what all, because I mean, if the people that
I
made it
took
didn't
it
want her around, they don't pay her for that long.
Well, I took it as cast. I took it as the other cast as
Hmm.
things move on in the universe of Vanderpump Rules that Katie kind of floats in and out of favor. So that was just like weird. Bo invokes the secret.
Yeah.
Okay,
But like Stassi hears all that from Katie, but really finishes with like, just clear the air with Christina and move on.
yep.
Not really what
Hash your
she
shit
wants to
out.
do, but that's what
Mm-mm.
Stassi wants her to do.
So Katie is a little worried about seeing Christina because quote she doesn't like two-faced bitches. So
Oh
really
yeah.
coming in with a good attitude. Um, they're all arriving. Taylor continues to say dumb shit. And if I have any advice, Taylor, if you're listening, please seek some kind of work for your internalized homophobia because this shit about lesbians can be ladies too is fucked up.
Yeah.
And I get where she's at because she has had a compulsory heterosexual experience her entire life. And so she's just now kind of unpacking what it means to not center that kind of relationship. But saying that lesbians can be ladies too is some Robbie Hoffman shit. Like, I don't like it. And I'm like, yike. Do better.
Who's Robbie Hoffman?
Oh, I thought it was must have been me and Brooke having this conversation. She is on
Gabby
Hacks,
Hoffman.
and Gabby Winder is her wife,
Hmm. Oh,
and
okay.
Robbie Hoffman is, I guess, Gabby's wife.
Okay.
And she made some kind of comments about, like, yeah, no, man, I'm not that kind of lesbian. Ugh. And she made some sort of
Oh,
derisive
right.
comments about, yeah. And it's just giving, and I just don't know if Taylor understood how she was going to come off it that way. But then they do this reality TV where everybody's got to pick their room, where they're running around picking their room.
Yeah. Also,
So
it was like two suitcases. So she makes a big deal out of this for a while, but I'm going to go ahead and,
yeah, and I
yeah.
feel like Teddy could have helped her. The baby's not going to fall out just because you lift something up. Like, it's
Yeah.
fine.
I mean, like a Sherpa, like the guy that takes you to the top of Mount Everest, you got these two
Hmm.
suitcases and I'm
Yeah,
not, I'm not going
calm
to.
down. At Georgia Drive, I like it. I want it. I want it to happen. I don't care that there's 82 years difference in their ages. She's a star.
Yeah. Katie thinks it's a death. Stassi's starting to come around on thinking it's happening. So, yeah.
And um Bo why you have to ruin it by saying, I don't want to fight. I just want a nice night. Well, you know what's going to happen now. You ruined it. You pierced the bubble. And Stassi did not want to have a nice night because producer's going to produce. And she engineers it in which everybody at that table had to sit there with their buttholes clenched the entire time, including her. And that's when she stopped liking it.
Yeah, Bo wanted two horrible things. He wanted a good time and sex with his wife. No good. No good right there.
Neither happened. And now it's like a whole thing. And Katie says that this is now Stassi's journey.
Yeah.
Because much like I said about Kristen's solar focus on Tom Schwartz's infidelity in Las Vegas, Stassi's like in on it. She's like, and even when she is not actively, she just put it away to pull it back out at the dinner later. And so, I mean, Stassi's ready. By the way, I guess the goat cheese balls went downhill at Sir.
Yeah, everything apparently has
Um,
gone downhill at Sir.
Also, Stassi pronounces Ouija board as a Ouija. That's weird.
It is weird.
Yeah.
I love the way when Kristen entered, Katie and her both like they had both seen a ghost of the other one walk in the
Yeah.
room. Like both of them, it was, and Stassi sees that and she's like, as executive producer, like you said, she's like, these two, I need to get these two to talk right now.
And Bo is, so another sort of foreshadowing. Katie says Stassi's really hard on people that she loves. Then cut to the very next scene where Bo was making a very innocuous joke about the birdcage. Like, oh my God, you haven't seen it. Stassi, with the seriousness of a judge, I really hate when people do that kind of shit. That is so stupid. Record scratch. Okay. So I guess this is the night we're having. Okay, sure. And then Rob tells that very, very strange story about a pregnancy scare he had with a girlfriend.
Yeah, some what
This
to
story,
expect when you're expecting kind of stuff.
this story is so bizarre
Yeah,
that before she had a test, he was buying a What to Expect book, and but historically, the women in her life have false negatives, but um he couldn't tell Bo because it was 6 months, but they were not talking for 9 months. It's very strange. And Stassi gets kind of gets whipped up at it. And I mean, obviously, it doesn't sound believable, but why is Stassi so mean about it? Is she just instigating?
yeah, she's keyed up about a whole lot of things. So I think she's determined for some activity to happen at the dinner. So she's just kind of pushing buttons all around. I mean, they even talk about her going after certain people. Um, about Stassi going after, men that are close to her, especially to hurt her. And we've talked years ago, like that was Stassi's thing.
Yeah.
So really, no matter what Bo's doing or all that, or if we think it's unfair, like that's how Stassi's going to treat the people because that's how she enjoys treating people.
And so whenever she tries to fight, she has to pick a fight with Bo, and it doesn't necessarily blow up like she wants it. Then
Yeah.
she tries to pick a fight with Rob, and that kind of he gets really kind of like a little bit vulnerable. Then she goes after Georgie and Rob. You guys ever hooked up, kissed, and that causes another kind of ripple of turmoil here. And this is where we see that scene where in the test shoot, like they're obviously fucking.
Yeah.
And so Georgie's like, why do you care? And she says it in many different iterations in many different ways. And in Stassi's confessional, again, she's like, I paid for her wedding. What? Rude. And she's fed up cleaning up Georgie's messes. That is so rude to bring up. I don't want it if you have to remind me of every gift you've ever given me. I don't want it. I'll starve to death if you're going to throw it in my face that you bought me a loaf of bread. Fuck off. It is so small and so gross. And it's like her wielding a power over Georgie that just seems cruel.
Yeah. And her not backing down is a thing. I mean, it's just going and going absolutely for everybody's neck. Um,
Yeah. And this is where it starts to kind of get a little left because the focus kind of comes back around to her and Bo, and she starts to get out of control about it. And something Rob says or whatever that it hits Stassi's ear, and she's like, "This is not fair." And I think she's expecting Bo to jump in, and because then Bo starts going off about Rob and young girls, and this is his mo and his personas he's done, and somewhere along the lines, Stassi gets mad, and then Bo says that you are out here looking dumb. Tell Stassi she looks dumb. You made yourself look dumb.
Yeah. Then he doesn't believe it. But that's
He
I mean
believes it. He's just hoping it wasn't true.
that just lays out there in such a big way.
Yeah,
It's
but it's so mean, the kinds of shit that Stassi is saying to Georgie and that Bo is saying to Rob about him dating young girls, and then Stassi's like, you're all of this that you're taking, you don't understand anything, and I paid for all of this. Like, it's just mean. And I don't think it is going for Stassi the way she wanted it to. And that seems like a real dangerous path for us to go on because we all know how Stassi is when she doesn't get her way.
No, and I mean, she does her typical thing, right? From could have been 14 years ago. She gets up, walks away. I mean, she has called something bad, but she goes after people. She goes after this person. She goes after this person. Bo does open up and all that. I mean, Rob does and all that, the accusational stuff. And like, it
Yes.
is hard when you're older. Yes, I'm messing around with younger people. That's what I have out here. And I have done this. And like, not having kids and not having a wife isn't something for everybody to discuss at the dinner table at all. I don't care. I mean,
Right. And
I got
then,
to give it to Rob a little bit for sticking it out, but
yes.
also, man, you could get up and go from all this. You don't know these folks anything as far as I'm concerned. And for
Yes.
Stassi to be the one that storms out of there per her usual way of doing things, I don't care for that at all. It is
I
dangerous. It's
know.
not a fun pattern by any means.
And Bo talking about Rob's maturity level and then sort of comparing it to his maturity level because he has a relationship that's great. Cut to the editor showing him crying at Taylor's table 2 days ago about being a 50s housewife and how he's unhappy. Like, sir, you got cameras. You can't get away from this. Like, but the idea that you are somehow more mature or some more better in life because you're married to this woman and you have these two children, it's foolish. And he looks real foolish about it. And that's when he yells at Stassi. And we didn't get any scenes from next week, so I'm not real sure. I mean, we already know what's happening because me and you've seen it, but I'm not too sure what they want us to think happens.
Yeah, and I mean, we're always catching more as we watch and watch. Stassi, though, in the end, is saying that she wouldn't have planned something like this. This isn't the kind of weekend she would have wanted to put together. While we've just watched hours of her talking about this is what she wanted to do. This is the exact thing she wanted to do. How many parties in this 4 episodes that we've watched have ended with some huge thing like this, with people upset with each other? Most of
And
them. And I mean,
it
that can't be the only thing that keeps happening.
it didn't happen. She didn't want it to happen that way because she got involved and it got ugly for her. She
Hmm.
wanted Bo and Rob to go at each other. You could see her. She is enjoying
She
it. Like
loved that.
yes,
Yes.
she loved it. Like the face she was making, she loved it. She loved it whenever um Rob and Georgie were on the defensive, defending their thing. She loved that. But when it came back to her and Bo got mad at her, that was beyond the pale. And so that we talk so much about how fun this show is and how like interesting and how it's really kind of like scrambling the mythology of a reality show. But I don't know if I can trust her authenticity in that way. Like this particular series of scenes makes me wonder, like you are really asking for this vulnerability from everybody else. You're really pulling out and extracting realness from them and wanting them to break the fourth wall and look at the camera and share with us your deepest darkest shit. but you don't want to do it. And so that puts some distance between us and Stassi in a way that I don't know how we're going to come back from. So if you want to be a producer, go be a producer. Cool, go do it. You're good at it.
Yeah.
Seems like you understand the mechanisms. But if you want to be on the show, there is a social contract that you have entered in with us, a parasocial contract, I guess I should say, that you get to share and you're truthful about it. So
I just don't. I appreciate, her wanting to be vulnerable, and I guess if she wants to show her whole family, exposed, then all right, well, that's a thing we're going to watch too. But if you're doing it in such a way that's so scattershot, and you don't have like, I want definitely this to happen, because I don't know if I trust her. I don't know how believable she is, but I don't know if I trust her to
yes,
run a television program. Like, I don't know if X happens, we definitely have something to film and watch the next time. I just don't know exactly what we're going for. And if we don't, and it gets chaotic, then everybody yells at each other. Then it isn't like a reality TV show unlike any other. That's what a ton of them are. We've watched her on one
yeah,
for years and years. So are
that
you
is
doing something new that you can follow through on?
that's an interesting point too. That she's just falling back on all of some of the same tropes and some of the same structures always, right? The tried and true, have a dinner party and have them fight, get everybody together in a house and make them go at it, set ambush people. Like, I guess she's relying on some of the same tropes. But and like I said at the beginning, I'm not sure there's one good person on this show.
Teddy seems great. Yeah.
And Katie's boyfriend, nameless redhead, he seems fine.
His name's Nick. I wrote it down. I wrote it
Nick.
down in the margins of my notebook, so it's official.
Teddy and
Nick
Nick.
is Nick is Katie's boyfriend's name. I wrote that. That's a thing I wrote. I've never written that about anyone on this show or in the
It's a thing
any
he wrote,
shows that
y'all.
we've watched. Yeah.
Okay. Well, we are deep in the House of Stassi universe right now, so possibly we may kick some of our Vanderpump rules because that's always going to be there. It's tried and true. It's our bread and butter. So I think we might focus on the House of Stassi for just a little while. If you're mad about it,
I could do it.
email Jeff. Yeah,
Jeff at
email Jeff.
Pinopod, come at
Yeah,
me. I say we just tackle the whole thing. We'll see.
let's just get into it. Yeah, and get ready because there's really only because you and I binged like 3 or 4 episodes, but there's still two. Maybe have you seen the last two? The last
No.
ones?
No.
Me either. Yeah, so there's two that we haven't seen. So we just got to get after it. But find us on the socials, leave us a review, rate us, send us to a friend, blah blah blah, and we will see you very soon for the rest of House of Stassi. Next time
Bye.
for
Thanks
Housewives
everybody.
Corner.
Oh, and Housewives Corner.